Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome to our community. Today we are talking about something most business owners get completely wrong: how to actually get business loans. Now, if you've been rejected for business funding, or if you're thinking about applying but you don't know where to start, this video is going to change everything for you. So please try and watch till the end. In this video, we're going to be covering why most applications fail, what banks actually want to see in your application, and the type of loans that actually get approved for creative and event businesses like ours. So let's start with the reality. Now, you see, most small business loans applications get rejected. We are talking about 70 to 80% rejection rates, depending on the type of loan. Most people think that it's because banks don't want to lend them money, or because small businesses are too risky, or they're just too small. But that's not true. Banks make money by lending money, so they always want to say yes. But the issue is that most business owners, they apply wrong. They're applying too early with the wrong documents for the wrong type of loan and at the wrong time in their business cycle. They walk into the bank saying things like, "Oh, I need money to grow my business," but they can't explain specifically how they will use the money or how they're going to pay it back. Their business finances are mixed with personal finances. They can't even show consistent revenue patterns. They don't have proper business records. They apply when they are just desperate for cash instead of when they are in the position of strength, when they know what they are doing, when they know what they actually want. Banks can definitely smell desperation, and it makes them nervous. They want to know that if they give you the money, that you'll be able to return it. So what do banks actually want to see? And trust me, it is not as complicated as you think, but it is specific. First, they want to see that you run your business like a proper business, Separate your business accounts from your personal account. Let it show clean financial records. Let it have consistent deposit patterns. They know that you're an event business. You may not get gigs all the time. However, let it show that whenever you do get gigs, your money comes in and your pricing might not be exactly the same, but it's related. It's understandable. I mean, you'll be able to explain it, right? They want to see predictable income streams. It may not necessarily be big amounts, but they want to see that it's consistent patterns that they can count on. They can know that, okay, in 1 month, you get this kind of amount of money. They can trust that and say, okay, if they give this kind of person this kind of money, at the end of the day, we might be able to expect this particular kind of money, right? They also want to see that you are able to manage the existing debts that you have responsibly. Things like personal credits, but also business credits and your vendor relationships as well. Banks wants to also know what you are buying, the exact thing you're buying, and how it will generate additional revenue. Vague business growth requests get rejected. If your business goal is not clear and is not properly put together, I'm sorry, you're going to get rejected, because these people don't want to throw their money away, even though it's not their money. Of course, it's people's money, so they don't want to waste it, right? Again, they want to see that you've thought through how you're going to repay the loan. It means that you've done some work. You have prepared for this, right? Seasonal fluctuations and maybe any challenges that can come up, you've been able to figure it out. You've been able to factor those into your thinking process, right? So it means that they will know that, oh, this person means business. This person is serious, right? But if you just come without any plan, any strategy, nothing, I'm sorry, the same way you came is the same way you're going to walk out of that door, right? You see, they want to see that you understand your market, you understand your competition and your business model well enough to navigate challenges. Because trust me, business is challenging. I mean, life in general is challenging, right? But we all have strategies to navigate whatever faces us, whatever comes to us, right? So banks needs to know that you have that in plan. You have put that into consideration. Now, this is what smart business owners do. Firstly, they prepare for 6 to 12 months before they actually need funding, before they actually start thinking of going to the bank. They sit down and figure out what they want to do ahead of time and start planning for it. Next, they set up proper business banking accounts. They implement consistent financial tracking, and then they start building clean business credits, right? Now, what is the benefit of having business credits? You be able to answer whatever question that comes, right? And you may not even need to answer those questions because it's clear enough. They can see it. But if it's upside down, if it's one, then problem, right? They start writing plenty stories and statements and all of that. But if everything is simple, easy, straight to the point, plain, everything is easy, pam, right? Now, smart business owners focus on creating consistent revenue and expense patterns that banks can easily analyze and predict. They see it clean and clear. There's no drama. There's no plenty talk, right? Smart business owners also gather all the necessary documents that they need for their loan application or for their funding requests, prepare their financial statements and document their business processes. They research the right type of funding. They prepare compelling applications, properly put together applications, and then they apply from a position of strength. For you to be able to do this, you must know what you're doing, right? So you see, all those when people just wake up and start a business and then they expect, it doesn't work like that. If you're trying to build a business, you need to know what you're doing, right? So you see, when you apply from preparation instead of desperation, the banks can tell you're not begging for money. You're presenting an investment opportunity, okay? Now, not all business loans are created equally. Some types get approved way more faster than others, right? Banks love things like equipment loans because the equipment serves as collateral. Something like, you can say something like, I need $20,000 for professional lighting that will let me book larger events. This makes sense to them. They understand, they know, right? You can also talk about, maybe you can also have like a request that is related to maybe for all service businesses. You can say invoice factoring. Invoice factoring lets you get paid immediately instead of waiting for clients. Banks understand this because it's low risk, right? Now, if you have business assets, equipment, inventory, even accounts receivable, you can borrow against them at better rates. Government-backed loans reduce risk for banks, so they are more willing to lend. Now, the application process could be longer, but the approval rates are higher. So I will always, gear into SBA loans, that they are government-backed loans, right? They are more secure and they are more risk-averse. So, and then you also get better rates. But again, then you could also consider business lines of credit. Instead of like a lump sum line of credit, they let you borrow what you need when you need it. And these are great for seasonal businesses. Some lenders will also advance money based on their monthly revenue, maybe higher cost, but easier approval for businesses with consistent income, of course. If it's you, what would you think? So you see, creative and event businesses have unique challenges when it comes to traditional lending. Why? Because most creative businesses have seasonal fluctuations. For example, event planning, we will mostly get jobs during summer times. So winter times, what happens? Banks understand this if you can document the patterns and show that you are able to manage your cash flow during slow periods, right? Event businesses often have lumpy revenue. They have big payments in their peak period, followed by quiet periods when there's no peak period. But the key is you are able to show the overall trend and average monthly income. So whatever income you're able to make, let it be the time that you had like lots of jobs, let it show. They understand when you also don't. The time that you had lots will cover for the time that you didn't have. This shows that you know what you're doing. Now, if traditional bank loans are not working, there are other options that are specifically designed for growing businesses. There are online lenders. There are platforms like Cabbage, On Deck, and others that specialize in small business lending with faster approval processes. There are also peer-to-peer lending, sites like Lending Club, Connect. They can connect you directly with investors willing to fund small businesses. Then there are also grants and competitions. Many organizations offer grants for women entrepreneurs, minority-owned business, and specific industries like ours. So you see, free money is the best money. go for it. There's so many of them out there. Definitely go for it. Then we also have community development financial institutions. Their focus is on underserved markets, and they often have more flexible lending criteria than the traditional banks. So definitely look out for them. Then there's also crowdfunding for consumer-facing businesses. Crowdfunding can provide both funding and market validation, right? So explore all of these options. There's so many options. You don't have to just sit and drown because you don't have enough money to scale your business. There's so many options. There's so many places that you can go. There's so many options that you can try to scale. Okay? Don't stay small because you can afford it. No, don't do that. Funding options vary significantly by country, but the principles of preparation and professional presentation apply everywhere. So regardless of what country that you're in, you still need to follow the right steps, like I've mentioned earlier, right? In the US, in Canada, in UK, and in Australia, traditional banks and SBA equivalence programs are usually the best starting points. In emerging markets like Africa, Asia, Latin America, all of those kind of countries, microfinance institutions, cooperatives, and maybe lending platforms might be more accessible than the regular traditional banks, depending on your application, like what you have, right? Your documentation and all of those. Then I would say that regardless of location, it is important that you build relationships with local business bankers and understand the regional programs that they have. It is very, very crucial. Understand the programs that they have in place that you can tap into. Okay? So these are things that I'm hoping that you guys would leverage, right? This information is gold. It's not very open. So I'm happy that I'm sharing it, and I'm hoping that you guys will use them. Okay. Now, in closing, I want to tell you that getting business funding is not impossible, but it does require preparation, it requires professionalism, and it requires a lot of patience. Okay. The key takeaway for this, for today will be build your financial foundation first. Please. Also apply for specific funding for specific purposes. And consider multiple funding sources, not just only traditional bank loans. There's so many out there. Check out the one that is applicable for your country or for your location, wherever you are. And then for also that works well for your business. Okay, if you want help navigating funding options for your specific situation, join our free school community. We have members who have successfully gotten funding and they are happy to share what worked. Okay, I'll see you in our community. I'll see you some other time. Have a good one and good luck in your applications. I'll see ya. Bye.